statement right here. Muhammad was a pedophile by today's standards. So you're talking about a man who was a pedophile. He had a 6-year-old wife, a 9-year-old wife, 11-year-old wife, had all these wives. He's not righteous.
All right, this one here is a tough topic that not a lot of people want to talk about, but I'll let him explain, and you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments, because every time this topic gets brought up, it's almost like everybody just kind of wants to ignore it and sweep it underneath the rug. But with that being said, enough of me talking. Let's get right into it.
What do you think about Muslims?
I love them to death, and they're the closest things to Christians we got.
Tell me more.
Well, because they believe in a God. They know that there's a God. They have a way of life. They have a book that they follow. They're very devout people. They've just been deceived. You know, and I think it's this simple. The life of Muhammad speaks for itself. When you talk about a man who, in factual statement right here, Muhammad was a pedophile by today's standards. So you're talking about a man who was a pedophile. He had a 6-year-old wife, a 9-year-old wife, 11-year-old wife, had all these wives. He's not righteous. Jesus Christ is the one who's righteous. But these people have been deceived by Muhammad. Muhammad came after Jesus Christ, okay? Jesus Christ had long been on this planet before Muhammad. He comes around, and he's trying to steal all the glory. But this is not a righteous man, okay? And like I said, by all accounts, he's a pedophile. And I don't care if Muslims come bomb my farm right now. I don't care. I'm going to tell the truth, and the truth is Muhammad's a pedophile. I won't worship him. He's not a holy man, and he don't deserve my respect.
But you said you love Muslims.
I love Muslims. I love people. I just don't like that they're Muslims. In fact, I got a lot of Muslims friends, because that's the cool thing about MMA is like all the people train together, and you just kind of don't bring that stuff on the mats, you know, a lot. But I have a lot of Muslim friends, and I try to preach the word of Jesus to him all the time, and the number one thing I have to say is that Muhammad is a pedophile. You know, he had multiple young wives. That's something Jesus Christ would never do.
We're going to go ahead and continue here momentarily, but how would you react if someone says that about your religion and it was accurate? Because it's in the Quran. How do you defend that? Just thought I'd put that point out there. Let's continue.
Have you ever fought somebody from Khabib's camp?
No, I fear no man. I'll say that right to anybody's face. I don't care who you are. You can come kill me, but you're not going to take the truth out of my mouth. You can cut my tongue out, and I'm going to sit here and tell you Muhammad's a pedophile, because I like calling pedophiles out for what they are.
Bryce, who from Khabib's camp is in your weight category?
I'm not sure, but there was a guy named Zabit who's probably a Muslim who's over there, but he retired. But shoot, if they want to do Russia versus America, that's fine. You know, I'm not scared of none of those guys. Like I said, I'm protected by the Holy Spirit. You know.
So okay. So let's say you love Muslims, then you're saying what you're saying about Muhammad. Got it. And then, so now walk me through what you think about Jews and Israel. So what do you think about the religion of Judaism and Israel?
Well, I think even the Bible says that the Bible definitely says that people that call themselves Jews are not. So Jesus said that. I mean, just straight out of his mouth. He said people will say that they're Jews, but they are not. They're wicked. And I think that that's what's going on. And I believe that 99% of the Jews are really nice people, but who has all the wealth, you know? A lot of rich Jews, you know what I mean? And I think that a lot of the more elite rich Jews are conspiring to take that land back, kill all Muslims and Christians.
You think kill all Muslims and Christians?
Yes.
You think Jews want to kill all Muslims and Christians?
I think the elite ones do, yeah. I think a lot of the elite Jews want to kill Christians and Muslims.
Why would you say that? What would make you think that's their motive?
Well, I mean, that's just what they believe in. They deny Jesus Christ, and so they view themselves as superior. A lot of them. Now, I'm not saying every single Jew, but you got to realize there's a lot of very, very wealthy Jews that have a lot of power. And I think these are the people that are over there bombing innocent Muslims. You know, a lot of these Muslims getting bombed, they didn't do nothing. You know, they're just innocent women and children just getting bombed. And I think that elite Jews are the main cause of all the innocent Muslims dying.
What do you think? Okay,
But they use Christian tax dollars.
to do that,
Yeah.
their money to do it, not their own money to do it.
Exactly.
Okay, so let me ask you: do you who do you trust more? Who do you trust more? Do you trust more a Muslim's motive or a Jew's motive? And I'm talking specifically the ones of power and the ones of influence.
I think that the Jews conspire more than the Muslims do. I think the Muslims, if anything, just want to be left alone. But they're not going to be left alone. They're going to be continuously bombed. That Iran and Iraq, all that area, they're going to be pushed to the point where they have to retaliate. And those Muslims they're going to form armies. They're going to bring the Russians and Chinese into the fight, and they're going to retaliate. I think all those Muslims are going to gang up and give hell on this earth. But I believe that they're being pushed to that point. I don't think that a lot of them are that evil. I mean, some of them are, but you also have some evil Christians out there, you know. But in general, I've never met a Muslim personally that I didn't like.
Yeah. In Arkansas, when you went to school, how many was the school mainly Caucasian, white? Was there a lot of Jews, or was there, I'm assuming there's no Jews and no Muslims in where you went to school?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I went to Cabot, so that was like there was only 2 black kids in our whole school.
Right.
But you know, I was an atheist then, anyways.
Got it.
But you know, I never discriminated on religion. I just think, as a whole, the Muslims are getting bombed so much that they're going to retaliate. I don't think that they're evil or nothing like that. I just think that they're going to be pushed to the point to where they have to form an army and they have to retaliate. And I think that that's what's going to be that World War III, is when the Muslims bring the Chinese and the Russians into the fight.
So, okay, let's do devil's advocate argument on both sides. Okay, and let's see how you respond to this. So, okay, the Muslims, the part with Muslims where I think Muslims and Christians can unite in these topics is leave our kids alone, right? Don't bother my kids.
Yeah.
You're not going to come and tell my kids that they're going to be part of LGBTQ community. You're not going to do that to a Muslim. They're not going to be okay with that.
No.
And guess what? A Christian with strong values is going to be like, yeah, we're on the same page with this. I'm good. Okay, leave me alone. Okay, let me do my own thing. And that's Muslims. That's the good, right? Values, principles, family. Leave me alone. I'll do my own thing.
Yeah.
Great. On the Jew side, that they may say, look, we have better financial ideas than you guys do. We are raised based on ideas on doing business together. When one makes money, 5 makes money, and we reinvest. We're frugal with our money. We're cheap. We don't necessarily go out there and waste our money on stuff that we don't have. We're long-term thinking. You guys spend all your money. Is that my fault that your family doesn't teach you about how money works and we do? Is it my fault that you guys are not thinking long-term and we are? What's wrong with that? So you mean to tell me you wouldn't want to have influence as well? What if you work your way up and you have some kind of influence? You wouldn't use your influence to share the gospel or message of Jesus Christ? Wouldn't you want to do that? Both arguments may be a valid argument that they're making, right? Mm-hmm. But what you're saying is and I don't want to put words in your mouth, maybe you can correct it. You're saying is, no, their motive is a different motive than just money. Is that what you're saying?
The elite Jews, absolutely.
What do you think their motive is? Are you saying
to control that Holy Land and to kill non-Jews? I think that there are Jews in positions of power that want to kill non-Jews and take back Israel.
Give examples of them killing non-Jews. I understand you could say Muslims in Gaza, but give examples of killing non-Jews, like Christians.
Well, I mean,
Catholics,
Look at all of this bombing that we've done over in Iraq, Afghanistan, brother. The body counts in the millions.
Yeah,
millions.
But that's Muslims.
Millions. Yeah, but who's killing the Muslims?
Okay, so
white people.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to tell you is they're being pushed to the point.
But that's not Jews though.
They don't. It's American tax dollars, but who controls Congress? The Jews. The Jews control it.
So you're going to AIPAC is where you're going.
That's what I'm telling you, brother.
Okay,
the Jews control where our tax. The elite Jews are using Christian tax dollars to bomb Muslims.
Let me ask you a question. If Muslims had the ability, I'm sure you've seen the clips where they say, "Hey, what do you think we're trying to do? We're trying to bring Sharia law to every single place." I had a guy on the podcast here, Daniel Harikaju, okay? I enjoy talking to him. and he is fully a Muslim, okay, Iranian guy. I think he lives in Texas. And he's actually an intellect. You can have a good conversation with him. But when I ask him, tell me about Sharia law. No, this is exactly what it stands for. That's what you believe. That's what we believe. And the laws in America that we're going, you want to bring those laws here? Look, if it happens, but right now it's not like that. And then there's even the other video, Rob, the one in Canada. Do you remember that one man in Canada was kind of like, you know what we're going to do to you? Watch what we're going to do to you. When you're not even thinking about it, we're going to bring the Sharia law. You've never seen it? Have you ever seen this clip or no?
Yeah. Well, I've seen the immigrants threatening people. Like, it might have been that exact clip. But, yeah, I think that they're organizing to attack us. I mean, the United States.
Muslims.
I mean, some of them, yeah. And
Is this the entire clip, Rob?
okay, I've not seen this.
Okay, I want you to watch this clip. I'm going to get your thoughts on this. Go for it.
What happened to a gay couple in Palestine, sir?
What?
What would happen to a gay couple in Gaza?
Executed according to Islamic law. Islam doesn't endorse gayism. Islam doesn't endorse homosexuality. Just like Canada doesn't endorse a lot of things.
So would you like to see Sharia law in Canada replace Canadian law?
At some point it will. You know, because we have families, we are making babies. You're not.
Exactly.
Your population is going down the slump, right? And by 2060, according to Pew Research Institute, your research, by 2060, Muslims will be the biggest religious group the world over. What are you going to do then?
Actually,
are you going to oppose Sharia is even then?
Well, you know what? I'm very appreciative of the honesty. We don't usually get that.
One day we can have a Muslim majority nation here in Canada, right in your face.
What happened to a...
Imagine killing somebody just because they're homosexuals. I think that is the big difference between Christianity and Muslims. We're not going to kill you just because you're a homosexual. We're going to pray for you and hopefully, you stray away from that lifestyle. But we don't hate you as an individual. And I think that's the biggest takeaway from Muslims and Christianity.
What do you think about that?
So my first thought about that is, look at that extreme Muslim, okay? And that's what it devolves into, is them wanting to kill gays, okay? That's the most extreme form of it that you're going to see right there. Now, Christianity, they don't like gays. They don't like people being gays. Christianity is taught to basically forgive everybody, literally forgive everybody for anything. That's the ultimate power of Jesus Christ. He was the master of forgiveness. And so, because we've all sinned, especially sexual sins, when there was that story in the Bible where I think it was a prostitute, they're about to stone her to death. And Jesus said, well, those of you who haven't sinned sexually, who haven't committed adultery with your eyes, you cast the first stone. So what I want to say is Christianity does not teach to kill people.
Correct.
It's that simple. Muslim, you saw it right there. He said we would cut your head off for being gay. Christians don't do that. Real Christians that abide by the Bible, the Word of God, they can look at an example from Jesus himself where he saved somebody who was sexually impure. He does not care. He forgives. And so that's the power of Christianity. We're only going to beat these enemies by forgiving people, being more inclusive. Now, that don't mean just me sitting up here and saying I like faggots.
Again, we're not going to condone the lifestyle, but we can pray for them to leave that lifestyle.
And I ain't never going to say that. I don't like it. They kill babies because they're the ones that don't make them. They don't make babies. That's why it's evil. I'm never going to say that. But what I'm not ever going to say is I'm going to cut a gay person's head off. In fact, I'll die for a gay person's right. That's right. I'll die for some gay person fighting for this country, for our freedom. Even though I don't think that they should be gay, I think it's evil because they're killing babies. They're killing whole bloodlines. It don't matter. I would never harm a gay person. And I'm telling you right now, a Muslim will cut your damn head off. And that's a difference in Christianity and Muslims right there. That is a difference. Forgiveness. That is the difference. Jesus Christ was the embodiment of forgiveness.
So what's the difference?
All right. What do you guys think? Do you guys think there's any validity to his argument or his stance when it comes to gays? And when it comes to Muhammad? What are your opinions on Muhammad, sleeping with Ayisha when she was 9, being married to her while she was 6 or 7, one of those two ages? I don't want to hear that argument. Oh, it was the times back then. No, it wasn't. It was not. So if you're going to condone that, you need better resources than just telling me that it was the times. Because if you wouldn't do it now, then you can't do it back then. Jesus, right now, whatever he did back then, you can do now. He literally did not commit a sin. Period. And I'm sorry, but sleeping with a minor, that will never, ever be okay. But with that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments.